Win probabilities are a very important tool for both survivor picks and moneyline parlays. What's up, everybody? This is Kerry. In this video, I'm going to give you my week 2 win probabilities. We're going to rank them from most confident to least confident, and we're going to use them to pick 2 survivor picks and 1 moneyline parlay. Let's get to it. The first thing is a survivor pool. Now, these are my entries that I started with in week 1. And of course, like many people, the Bengals just laid an egg again in week 1. And that's just something that we probably should have suspected and counted on. And why we picked the Bengals for week 1, I don't know. Anyways, that entry's gone. That leaves us with 2 more entries where I picked the Seahawks and the Bills. So they're still alive, and this is great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the win probabilities. What you see here on the right-hand side, the dark green is the most likely team to win. The Ravens at 81.2% according to my model. The Cowboys, the Lions, the Texans, and the Eagles. Now, I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to go outside of the top 5 when I pick my survivor picks. I'm not going to do anything cute and pick something way down here in the orange or the red. No way. And also, I'm not going to pick the Ravens right now. I might want to save them for a later week. Now, the Circa Millions has 20 weeks. Of course, the 18 weeks are the regular season. And they also count the Thanksgiving and Black Friday combo there. They have games on Thanksgiving and, of course, on Black Friday now, and also on Christmas. And I'm going to say the Cowboys and the Lions for Thanksgiving. Now, I don't need both of those teams, but I want to have both of those teams available to me when that week comes up. So I'm going to save those. That leaves the Texans and the Eagles. Now, I have some good reasons why I want to pick these 2. These are going to be my 2 picks for week 2. If you look over here, the Bears are playing the Texans, and Texans are at home. Of course, picking the home favorites is always a good way to go for Survivor. And the Bears, you look at Caleb Williams. Now, of course, rookie quarterbacks have a really rough time at the beginning of their seasons, their rookie seasons. And we saw that in week 1 when the Bears took on the Tennessee Titans. And really, there's no way the Bears win that game if Tennessee didn't make those mistakes. Now, it's really their special teams and their defense that won the game for them. But the offense and Caleb Williams did not look very good. So I like the Texans here to really take care of the Bears. So I'm going with the Texans here. And similarly with the Falcons at the Eagles, I like Kirk Cousins a lot, but we saw in week 1, he was really hampered by that Achilles injury. So until that heals up, until we see him move around a little bit better, I think the Falcons are going to have trouble scoring points. The Eagles, on the other hand, looked really strong. Their offense looked great. Saquon Barkley looked great. I think both the Texans and the Eagles are really good bets to win. In fact, the money line probabilities are even higher than my model probabilities. So I'm going with the Texans and the Eagles as my 2 picks for week number 2 Survivor. And here's how I'm going to pair them up. I'm putting the Eagles as my second pick in entry 2 after the Seahawks. So I'm sticking with all the birds here. Kind of makes sense to put the birds together. And I'm putting the Texans with the Bills and for my entry 3. So if both these teams win, then we're good on both these entries. And one more thing here. I would never put the same team in both entries, even if they have a really high probability. That seems like an obvious thing not to do, but just in case, if that team loses, or whoever that might be, both those entries are out. So I'm always going to mix them up. I'm never going to pick the same team for both my entries. And we'll see how far we can get. Okay, Moneyline parlays. Now, I put this bet out on Tuesday, and it again goes with the win probabilities. I had this particular trend where I saw in the last 3 years that the home teams favored by 5.5 points or more win at a rate of 76.9%. So with this trend, I'm actually going to put 2 teams I think are going to win. And I'm going to go with the Chiefs here at home against the Bengals. They, of course, are favored to win. And again, if Joe Burrow and the Bengals are looking anything like week 1 or even just a little bit better than week 1, I still think they're going to lose pretty easily when the Chiefs are at home. So this particular money line was minus 260 when I bet it. And one more time, the Texans here, I really think they're going to win at home against the Bears. That was minus 270. The parlay odds were minus 112, but when you look at this particular odd with both of those teams, gets us to about 59% or minus 145 trend odds. So I really think these 2 teams are going to win. Because of that, I'm putting these 2 teams together in a moneyline parlay, and that's my bet. I'm going to show you the win probabilities one more time here. Again, I have the Ravens on top, followed by the Cowboys and the Lions, the Texans, and the Eagles. And I'm not even looking any further than that. Again, the top 5. Let me say one more thing here. One actually really good strategy for Survivor is to pick against a really bad team. Now, I'm not picking on the Panthers here, but we all know they look pretty bad, and it doesn't look like this Bryce Young experiment is really paying out for them. I feel bad for the Panthers. I feel bad for Bryce Young, but a good pick in Survivor is to pick a team going against a team that you might even think might go winless in the season. So every team that is pretty decent going against the Panthers might be a good pick in Survivor. So that might be one reason to go with the Chargers. But for my money and my survivor picks, I'm sticking with the Texans and the Eagles. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are in a survivor pool, I hope you didn't pick the Bengals in week 1. And I feel bad if you did. One of my entries is gone as well, but we're still in it with the Seahawks and the Bills. We still have 2 entries that are making it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how far we can go with this. I like looking at the win probabilities and just simply looking at which teams are most likely to win. That actually informs many of my other bets. So it's a good thing to know, win probabilities. So good luck, have fun, and let's go.